Welcome to another Cinematic Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to have you here today. We are going to break down the awe-inspiring history, the unbelievable scale, and the completely unbreakable spirit of one of the most fascinating places on our planet. Yep, we're talking about New York City. This is a place of big dreams, of immense struggle, and of constant, relentless reinvention. So get ready, because we're going to unpack exactly what makes this concrete jungle the undisputed capital of the modern world. All right, let's dive right in.
8 million people. 5 boroughs, 1 heartbeat. Wow, that really just captures it perfectly, doesn't it? Before we even think about looking at the towering skyscrapers or the blazing lights of Broadway, we have to recognize the sheer, staggering human scale of New York City. We are talking about 8 million individual lives, spread across 5 distinct boroughs, all pumping through the exact same civic arteries. It's chaotic, sure. It's massive, but as you'll see, there's this undeniable, unifying pulse that drives the whole city forward every single day.
Section 1. The Birth of a City, Foundations of a Metropolis.
You know, it's just wild to think about how vastly different this landscape used to be. Long before it was the center of the world, it was home to the Lenape people. They called it Mannahatta, which beautifully translates to the island of many hills. I want you to try and imagine not a grid of asphalt, but a lush land of thick forests, flowing streams, and abundant wildlife. It is absolutely crucial to ground ourselves in this indigenous natural history, mostly because it reminds us that underneath all the modern steel and concrete, this has always been an island teeming with life.
And this transformation, it happened at absolute breakneck speed. Back in 1626, Dutch settlers purchased the land and set up this modest little trading post they called New Amsterdam. Fast forward just a few decades to 1664, the British take control and rename it New York. And then, boom, the explosion happens. By the 19th and 20th centuries, this quiet trading post rapidly swelled, and by 1900, New York was already the most populous city in America. It literally went from forests to the capital of the modern world in a historical blink of an eye.
So how exactly did that incredible population explosion happen? Well, it was through wave after wave of immigrants arriving on these shores, just seeking a new life. Irish, Italian, Jewish, Chinese, Puerto Rican, Dominican, and honestly so many more. Each of these distinct communities didn't just move to New York, they built it. They added their own vital, vibrant thread to the city's extraordinary fabric. Without them, the city as we know it today simply does not exist. No question about it.
Section 2. The Concrete Jungle, the Scale of Manhattan.
410 days. I mean, that is just an absolutely awe-inspiring number. Think about it. Manhattan is an island just 16 miles long and 2 miles wide, yet it packs in over 1.6 million people. To fit everyone in, they literally had to build up, and the ultimate symbol of that ambition is the Empire State Building. During the darkest, most difficult days of the Great Depression, thousands of workers desperately seeking jobs constructed what would be the tallest building in the world for 40 years in just 410 days. Just think about the sheer ambition and drive it takes to pull that off.
But right in the middle of all that towering steel and concrete, you've got 843 acres of pure, unadulterated green space. Central Park. Designed back in 1858 by Frederick Law Olmsted and Calvert Vaux, this was a wildly radical idea at the time. I mean, they firmly believe that a great city must offer its people space to breathe, to walk, and to just be human. Today, a staggering 40 million visitors come to these 843 acres every single year to jog, to read, and to slow down the city's frantic pace, even if it's just for an afternoon.
Section 3. A World of Neighborhoods. Hundreds of cities within a city.
Let's actually take a quick, rapid-fire tour of just a few of these incredible microcultures. In Chinatown, you're instantly hit with a sensory overload, the amazing smell of roasted duck, the glow of red lanterns. It's home to over 150,000 Chinese Americans, which makes it one of the largest Chinese communities anywhere outside of Asia. Then you travel up to Harlem, a neighborhood whose very name echoes with the historic legacy of a cultural revolution. I mean, this is the birthplace of legendary jazz from Duke Ellington and the soaring poetry of Langston Hughes. And then there's Brooklyn. Once affectionately brushed off as just the other borough, it has completely reinvented itself into a highly sought-after national hub of modern art, food, and just boundless creativity.
Section 4. Food and electric culture. The energy of the streets. Think about this. To eat in New York City is quite literally to eat the entire world. There are over 27,000 restaurants scattered across the boroughs, representing the cuisine of more than 100 different countries. It really doesn't matter if you're grabbing a $2 foldable slice of pizza on the sidewalk, which, by the way, is a total cultural institution and almost a religion here, or if you're sitting down to a $300 Michelin-star tasting menu, or even just enjoying a perfectly boiled and baked bagel with cream cheese brought over by Jewish immigrants. This city feeds every appetite, every budget, and every single craving imaginable.
And the transformation of this city over the years is honestly pretty striking, especially when you look at Times Square. Back in the 1970s, Times Square was notoriously known for crime and urban decay. Frankly, it was not the place you wanted to be. But New York, it always transforms itself, always. Today, it is 2 miles of blazing electric lights and the most visited tourist attraction in the entire United States, pulling in around 360,000 visitors every single day. And just steps away from those glowing digital billboards is Broadway, which has been the absolute pinnacle of American live performance and culture for well over a century.
Section 5. The Unbreakable Spirit, a city that never breaks.
You know, no city in the modern world has been tested quite like this one. On September 11, 2001, the unthinkable happened. Nearly 3,000 lives were tragically lost when 2 of the world's tallest towers collapsed. The entire world watched, holding its breath, wondering if New York could ever possibly recover from such a devastating wound. But the defining trait of this city is that it is simply not built to break. That very same day, within hours, New Yorkers were standing in massive lines to donate blood for their neighbors. And over the years, that site saw a powerful rebirth, transforming into the tallest building in the Western Hemisphere, alongside a memorial of profound, quiet beauty.
And we saw that historic resilience echo again during the 2020 pandemic. For the first time in living memory, the vibrant, chaotic streets were completely silenced. Times Square stood totally empty, but the spirit of the people, it didn't waver. Every single night, right at 7 p.m., New Yorkers threw open their windows to applaud the doctors, nurses, and essential workers who were keeping their city alive. It really revealed the tough, stubborn, and profoundly unbreakable nature of the people who call this place home.
As we draw this explainer to a close, Section 6, More Than a Place, the Idea of New York.
I don't think there is any better representation of that idea than the words etched at the base of the Statue of Liberty, penned by the poet Emma Lazarus. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. This magnificent statue, a beautiful gift from France, has stood in New York Harbor for nearly 140 years. For millions of arriving immigrants looking out from the decks of ships, her face was the very first thing they saw. She stood as a promise, the promise of America and the promise of New York, that a new life was possible.
And the proof that this promise was kept is everywhere you look. Today, New York City boasts a staggering population of 8.3 million people. Even more incredibly, there are over 800 languages spoken across its streets, officially earning it the status of the most linguistically diverse city on Earth. Let's be real. It is loud, it's chaotic, it's famously expensive, and can be utterly exhausting. But the idea that anyone, from anywhere, armed with absolutely nothing but ambition and courage, can arrive here and build a life worth living, that is what makes it the greatest city in the world.
Which really leaves us with one final thought to ponder today. When you look at the resilience, the incredible scale, and the endless possibility of this place, what will you build in the city that never sleeps? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, keep exploring, and I will see you next time.